There is a particular kind of joy that follows the youngest child in any family. And in the House of Windsor, that joy has a name: Prince Louis. Since the day he arrived, he has become one of the most talked-about young royals in the world. Not for scandal, not for controversy, but for something far simpler. He makes people smile. This is the story of his life so far. Where he came from, how he has grown, and why a small boy with a big laugh has captured the hearts of an entire country. Prince Louis Arthur Charles was born on the 23rd of April, 2018, at the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital in Paddington, London, the same wing where his older brother and sister were born. He was the third child of Prince William and Catherine, then Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, now Prince and Princess of Wales. His birth was announced to the public in the traditional way. A formal notice was placed on an easel outside Buckingham Palace, and well-wishers gathered outside the hospital to catch a glimpse of the new prince as his parents carried him out into the daylight just hours after his birth. His name carries weight and history. Louis honors Lord Louis Mountbatten, a great-great-uncle of Prince William's who played a significant mentoring role in the life of the late Prince Philip. Arthur is a name with deep roots in British legend and royal tradition, evoking the legendary King Arthur. Charles, of course, honors his grandfather, who was still the Prince of Wales at the time of Louis's birth and would go on to become King Charles III just a few years later. Together, the name situates Louis firmly within a long royal lineage, even as he has grown into someone who feels anything but stiff or formal. On the 9th of July, 2018, Louis was christened at the Chapel Royal in St. James's Palace in a small and private ceremony attended by close family. Photographs released afterward showed a household still adjusting to life with 3 young children: Prince George, not yet 5, and Princess Charlotte, 3, both looking on as their baby brother was welcomed into the family. Even then, the family's affection for one another was easy to see. Louis has spent his early years moving between several homes, each offering something different. For years, Kensington Palace in London served as the family's primary residence, giving the children access to the city and to royal engagements. Anmo Hall, the family's country house in Norfolk, offered space to run, garden, and enjoy a slower pace of life away from public view. In 2022, the family made a significant move to Adelaide Cottage in Windsor, a smaller and more private residence that allowed the children to grow up with a greater degree of normalcy, closer to Windsor Castle and further from the pressures of central London. Prince William and Catherine have spoken publicly, if sparingly, about wanting to give their children as ordinary a childhood as possible within the bounds of royal life. That has meant afternoons spent gardening, baking, and playing outdoors as a family. Activities that would be unremarkable in any household, but which take on extra significance when the family in question is second in line to the British throne. Louis, by most public accounts and by the impression he consistently gives at official events, has thrived in this environment. He is frequently described by royal commentators and in official palace releases as high-spirited, curious, and utterly unafraid to be himself in front of a camera. His education began in 2021, when he started at Wilcox Nursery School in Kensington. The following year, in September 2022, he joined his older siblings at Lamrook School in Berkshire, a coeducational independent school known for its extensive outdoor facilities, including a farm, a swimming pool, and forest school sessions. The move to Lamrook coincided with the family's relocation to Windsor, allowing all 3 children to attend the same school for the first time, a detail that palace watchers noted as a deliberate effort to keep the siblings close as they grew. Royal watchers often point to one single event as the moment Prince Louis became a public phenomenon in his own right: the Platinum Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II in June 2022. Louis was 4 years old, attending the Trooping the Colour balcony appearance at Buckingham Palace, and he was, by any account, entirely unfiltered. Photographs from that day show him covering his ears against the noise of the flypast, pulling animated faces at his mother, and at one point appearing to shout with the sheer excitement of the occasion. The images were shared and reshared around the world within hours. It wasn't the first time Louis had appeared on that balcony. He made his public debut there in 2019, at just over a year old, and had already shown flashes of a personality that didn't seem to care much for royal formality. But the Jubilee appearance cemented something. Here was a young prince who behaved, in front of the entire world, exactly like a 4-year-old behaves. For a family whose every public appearance is scrutinized for meaning and message, Louis's total lack of self-consciousness became genuinely refreshing to watch, and it earned him widespread and affectionate coverage in the press. That same instinct for authenticity has followed him through subsequent public engagements. At the coronation of King Charles III in May 2023, 5-year-old Louis attended the service at Westminster Abbey and was seen, at various points, looking bored, mimicking the choir, and clapping along to the music slightly out of time, all captured by television cameras and widely shared. Commentators noted that while his older brother George, serving as a page of honor, carried himself with visible seriousness and responsibility, Louis brought a lightness to the day that many viewers found endearing. Louis's life has also been shaped by moments of genuine historical significance. When Queen Elizabeth II died in September 2022, the royal family entered a period of mourning and transition that reshaped the line of succession. Louis's grandfather became King Charles III, and Louis himself moved up to become fourth in line to the throne, following his father, his brother George, and his sister Charlotte. Notably, Louis became the first British prince in history to be placed behind an older sister in the line of succession, a direct result of changes to succession law passed in 2013 that ended the practice of male children automatically outranking their elder sisters. In a family built on centuries of tradition, Louis's very position in the succession represents something genuinely modern. Louis has also taken part in the annual Trooping the Colour parade nearly every year since his first appearance, and he has become a fixture at the family's traditional Christmas Day walk to church at Sandringham, an event that draws large crowds each year hoping to see the family in a more relaxed, seasonal setting. In December 2023, Louis attended Westminster Abbey for the Together at Christmas carol service organized by his mother, Catherine, Princess of Wales, an event designed to celebrate community, kindness, and togetherness during the festive season. During the service, in a moment caught on camera, Louis playfully attempted to blow out his sister Charlotte's candle, who calmly continued on without missing a beat. It was a small, unscripted moment of sibling mischief, and it delighted viewers precisely because it looked so unmistakably like something any younger sibling might do. Much of what makes Louis who he is comes down to the people around him. His relationship with his siblings is often described, by those who know the family and by royal biographers, as close and easy. George, the eldest, is often seen as more reserved and aware of his future role as heir to the throne, while Charlotte has been described as confident and a natural leader among the three. Louis, as the youngest, has settled into the role of the family's spark of energy, the one who makes his older siblings laugh, who occasionally tests their patience, and who is, by every public indication, deeply loved by both. His parents have made clear, through their public actions if not always their words, that keeping their children grounded is a priority. Catherine has spoken in the past about the importance of nature and outdoor play in early childhood development, a philosophy reflected in how the family spends its time together, gardening at Anmo Hall, walking in Windsor Great Park, and engaging in creative activities like baking and art. Prince William, for his part, has often spoken about wanting to give his children a more emotionally open upbringing than he experienced, informed in part by his own childhood and the loss of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, when he was just 15. Louis's maternal grandparents, Carol and Michael Middleton, have also played a visible role in his upbringing. The Middletons, based in Berkshire, have long been known for providing a grounded, low-key environment for their grandchildren, and Louis has been photographed enjoying time at their home on several occasions. His paternal grandfather, King Charles III, has spoken publicly about his enjoyment of gardening in the natural world, interests he has been known to share with his grandchildren when time allows, though as monarch his one-on-one time with his youngest grandson is understandably limited. What makes Prince Louis compelling to watch, according to royal commentators and the wider public alike, isn't any single dramatic moment. It's the consistency of his character. Across every public appearance, from his earliest balcony wave to his more recent appearances at Trooping the Colour and Christmas services, Louis has shown the same essential qualities: curiosity, humor, and an apparent inability to perform for the cameras the way royal life sometimes demands of its older members. Palace aides and royal reporters have often remarked, in coverage of these events, that his natural behavior offers the public a rare, unguarded glimpse into a family that otherwise carefully manages its public image. It's worth remembering that Louis is still very young, and the public record of his life so far is necessarily limited to the events his family has chosen to share and the moments captured during official engagements. Much of his day-to-day life, school, home, friendships, remains private, in keeping with his parents' clear wish to protect their children's ordinary lives as much as royal duty allows. What the public does see, however, has been enough to make him one of the most recognizable and well-liked young royals of his generation. As he continues to grow, Prince Louis will take on more public responsibilities, appear at more state occasions, and gradually be shaped by the expectations that come with royal life. For now, though, he remains defined by something simpler and more universal: the unmistakable, unfiltered joy of being a child. Whether waving from a palace balcony, mimicking a church choir, or gently teasing his older sister during a candlelit service, Louis has shown the world, again and again, that royalty and genuine, everyday humanity are not mutually exclusive. And that, more than any single headline, is why so many people continue to watch him with such warmth. If you enjoyed learning about Prince Louis's story, let us know in the comments which moments stood out to you most, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.